insanity, my boys. That's what they say a lot of. Maybe Uber falls in that category when it comes to some of his plays. But oftentimes, it is brilliance on the side of him. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Time for our final game of the day. Game number 76. It's going to be on Erangel, the green grassy pastures, as we head over to Pansy and Sims once again for the final action for day number 1 of week 7.
Thank you indeed. Last game of the day, and what a day it's been. ENCE picking up that win was pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with that one. What are we thinking coming into this?
Coming into this, I think this could be time to shine for ENCE. Getting a double back-to-back would be really nice for them, especially cascading onwards through the week. We did say that this week is the do-or-die moment. Next week, everything kind of gets thrown into the wind for the simple fact that no one really cares. You're either qualified, oh, I mean, potentially that's actually complete rubbish. You might not be qualified. For some of the teams, they will be safe. But certainly for other ones, it's, well, we've just got to go wild now and put everything behind us. And I think you're going to see some really bizarre stuff and some really bizarre players, which we're always a big fan of.
Yep, I love a bit of that.
Usual loot locations now, given this play. And we start on the west end on the east, just over Mill to Power. Everyone going to their home territory. And what will be wild is if we get a milli circle here.
God, it would be, wouldn't it?
Because you're not going to have any teams on Military Island. Of everyone just scampering from the north. Unless we get something like a Stalber. Just a weird start with a fair amount of water and throw everything.
Yeah, I want a weird circle
up in
now.
The air.
I want like something a little unique, something I haven't seen in a while. Give me Zaki.
Just about to say just a big old Zaki.
I'd love it. It's got a lot. Hey, look, ENCE. If there's a time to do the back-to-back, it's
now. Okay, well, they're not in the, I say the usual spot. They're not further up. They'll get the vehicles, consolidate themselves, and get up there, get looting. Maybe they do the trash tier loots. Maybe they go for the little compounds, offside of Kamesh gear just as you're heading up there. They do hold some gear, not a great deal, but certainly something to play off the back of. You have to be very careful that someone like Mikas doesn't overextend into the Knights' territory and potentially get taken down early. We've seen around those areas potential one-on-one conflicts can end in chaos, then you lose a player straight off the back of that. Kind of like what we were seeing before, what we were seeing before, what Des was saying, alluding to with Uber, where you have these individual players that can either just be godly and such a huge pillar of your destruction towards your team, or can just go off on their own and die. And then you're fighting an uphill battle with 3 man strong. We used to see it before a lot with Bestaloch, I think it's fair to say. And now he has the team that's working with him and fixing that. Na'Vi is just on a different level.
Yeah, Na'Vi are probably one of the strongest teams I've seen in a while, especially after such a huge roster change. You kind of chalk up the initial start to the season as honeymoon period, when no issues seem to arise and everything just works. But they've been able to make it consistent, and that's what scares me, is what they can do going forward. Again, I think we're still looking at a little bit of a closed environment, because we have seen just so much of the PEL, same drop, same locations, very few early scuffles. Orange getting a glimpse of Scoom there. And I do wonder how it will translate when we get to the wider scene of things. I do wonder when we get to, having North American playstyle in there, just generally Asian playstyle in there, of just, mad aggression coming out when it's required. And I do wonder how it will change up, what it will look like, what the landscape will sit at. But for now, that's beyond the point. These teams are playing the best they can in the situation they have in front of them, and consistency is key. And again, Orange getting full glimpses here. Might be time to go. Oh, he just looked away. He was waiting for the player to get in towards the car seat. It's normally a confirmed kill. And he's kind of let that one slip here. I'm not sure if they have a vehicle nearby for Unity. I imagine they'll have a plan in mind, but Reciprocity do have the vehicles, and they do have the way out here.
It's going to be a sketchy one. Chaz are out the back of the vehicles. They will pull up and see. Careful, that doesn't roll into the back of you. Let's put the hand. There we go. We'll just hide that from arm's way for now. DA, maybe they're making a beeline for the liquid compound. Yes, they are. Protection from the hill from behind. Protection from all sides, because it's a very open field, and you just put yourself at the front of the wall and bunker down and let teams make an approach towards you. See where Liquid land on this one. It's a bit more closer to home, and certainly a bit more quieter around that southern embankment. G2, TSM, beep beep. CrowCrowd trying to find a home on this one. In the north, Reciprocity will just be lingering close to them. ENCE, 2-2 split. Stalber just above Lipovka, mansion area. Again, trash looting, smaller compounds, smaller areas, limited resources. What can you do from the back of that?
Yeah.
Not really something we speak too much of in PUBG, but certainly your gear and utility approaching and going into fights. It's such a big game that, you know, is your gear good? Is your armor damaged? How does your durability look? What smokes do you have to get out of a fight? How's the grenade situation to push on a building? At the moment, the nades it's the way forward when we're talking about building pushes. If Phase 3 we get some change in how the nades work and how many lethal grenades you can carry, the frags, you'll start seeing your entry fraggers having to push on buildings properly with, you know, close combat guns, maybe using the flashbangs more off the back of the wall, the pop flashes, get up the stairs, breach with the barrel. Certainly a lot of things on the line for Phase 3 and how we'll see if we do get any change from that. Liquid, just touching it, have gone towards the backside of Yasnaya. This might throw CrowCrowd off a little bit because that's where they were potentially heading to. Level 1 on the top end of Chris. Actually going for a bridge camp, potentially? Or they're just trading up because no one was down there. I may have guessed they'd known that, unless they don't and they're thinking someone's there.
Be interesting, considering where they drop, you'd imagine they'd be able to see that, so...
Yeah, if
maybe
they stay there
there's
for a
like
while,
a long rotation round, they could be considering that.
That's a good call. When 19 have been known for doing that and swinging it when they're a bit worried. We'll see if they stay there. If they do, then they definitely think a team's there and it's not just playing passive, they are playing for the kills. TSM are getting a bit too close for comfort on the side of FaZe. Have to watch their step, but they are used to this terrain and this territory. FaZe just on the opposing side of the prison. Na'Vi, easy rotate for them, no one ahead of them. I'm seeing a few shots in the north now. Vitality starting to open up onto NIP. ENCE starting to regroup themselves. CrowCrowd in a difficult spot at the back of the telephone pylons. Up in the hillside, it's safety distance, the range should be fine, but certainly held back by Raise Your Edge, Team Liquid. Raise Your Edge are going for a very wide split, which gives them a good foothold regardless of where this circle goes.
Interesting positioning by ENCE, isn't it? Normally they go heaven, and this time they've opted to stay away from that. Maybe slightly further north, maybe just feeling that's more likely. Or maybe they just, because I know they had 2 plays up by Stalber earlier, so maybe that was just kind of the middle ground rather than heaven. That does open up brilliantly for the Knights, though. They must be really happy with this pickup of placement. Last time they were, they were in the middle of nowhere a lot of the time. They were kind of struggling to find a spot, so this could be quite nice for them. Beyond that, though, FaZe, different route this time. I think we've kind of highlighted that. Them in the southeast because of that different loot start, out in Old Milta. So that's quite a fun one. Maybe that could change up the dynamic here. Could pressure TSM, considering they came in, through Mansion. They slowly worked their way out. That can be a bit more pressure from the southeast. Winstrike very close behind Reciprocity. Similar routes in that.
I'm glad you touched on that one. That's the next point of contact, potentially. Should Winstrike take the exact same route? I mean, for Winstrike, all it would need to do is one player to get out of a vehicle and have a quick scout ahead with a scope, get the information, read the fight that's in front of them, and potentially make an advancement on it. Rec are going to have the upper hand here. They'll be in the plateau compound. Now Winstrike's out of the vehicles, and again, I'm just talking about this from the side of the map, so you guys at home, if you've got the map street open, you'll be able to understand all this and also get the information that I'm talking about on screen. James, that's an overzealous shot all the way in the fields from the yellows. Number 5 in the kill rank. I think what Ibby said at the start of the show about people, how do you play this game, how do you get as good as you guys? Honestly, he's one of those that can really live up to that and attest to that.
Oh my gosh.
Of the more time and effort you put into the game, the more you get out of it. But my word.
That's...
And Lauren, G2's potential bridge camp, stop them advancing forward and give them a good foothold. Okay, they're at the southern side of it, but there's no reason why they can't just springboard into this circle now.
All right, you guys in chat, I know you're busy spamming something else, but let's see if you can spam the team if you think has got the best position right now. I don't know who to put this to.
Wild.
TSM, FaZe, the Knights. All these teams in the north are about to compress to a very small, dedicated area. I do not know where they're going to go. All these teams, there's not enough room for all of them. There's a lot of those compounds on that northern road leading out the east of Yasnaya, but it's not prime territory. Teams might extend. You might have to go into Lipovka. You might have to take yourself slightly further east than you'd like, which you can imagine it's going to move away from water. DA looking like they want to head slightly further south past TSM. They're getting shot to hell going past them. They have managed to find a compound, though, I think. TSM opting for, I guess it's the Harry Potter Tower, and then the hangar as their 2 spots. Reciprocity, not in as bad of a spot as the likes of Winstrike or Unity coming from the north. They still can go northeast and play off the back of that. They've got that nice hillside if they want to, just the kind of cliff face. Again, I'm not sure. Liquid, dangerous positioning from them as well.
It's an intensive shift, but it's not too bad for the simple fact that it is below Yasnaya. We didn't see too many teams that are further afield up towards the Stalber way, so a lot of them lingering and kicking it towards this latter end and the southern side. M19 NIP, they'll be taking the western embankment, playing up against the Bloom. Need to be careful on arrival. Nabi's going to be set up and waiting them upwards on that hillside compound just above Milta. G2, Lumber Mill, Vitality, TSM fighting between Prism and the embankment side of Prism. FaZe Clan wide 2-2 split, but 2 priority compounds. Keeping control of them is going to be huge in the later stage of the game. Rec and other teams might avoid Lipovka, and I think that's absolutely fine, because once the circle does shift away from water, it's basically just going to be a dead zone. You don't want to find yourself there. Winstrike. Now, this is the difficult spot. Where else do you come in on this? What compounds are really left? Raise your edge, hold them back at gunpoint, keep them out of the fields and any advancement further. They're going to be safe as they do go further down south, but really there's nowhere else to land a foothold on this one.
No, they can end up around Shelter. There's that little house, the kind of compound with the cars out the front of it, north of Shelter, if you know what I mean. That's still got some space in it, so they might have to go towards that. But for now, we can see that Wanted's seeing Jazza there from Vitality. The rest of the Knights aren't that close to him. He's out on a bit of a limb here. He's very isolated from the rest of his team, so could be a bit of a problem for him. He could do a little bit of a hit and run, but that could be rough.
Rec have actually committed to Lipovka. Slightly disappointed in that, but I suppose if there's nothing else left, you just have to make do with what you have. The problem is they are now going to be at the mercy of that circle. Should it shift inland, they are getting kicked out, and then they have an uphill open battle. Top of that hill, you could bank the vehicles on the rocks and on the trees that are up there. You can see in the distance is the area that I'm talking about, just up from FaZe on the left-hand side. You can't go downhill because you've got the yellows, which have half of FaZe in, and then the opposing side, the elevated line of sight that will come across and feed that information as they do come down the hill. M19 going for the bottom side.
Honestly,
the lumber.
I'm just really surprised we haven't seen one single death yet.
Oh, God, yeah.
Now we're
shifts
gonna.
from Lipovka. Lipovka has to move. ENCE have to move. Unity, they can go on the northern side, but down south is the real danger for the simple fact that Winstrike,
They're in a good position.
if they get that compound that's open, they are going to be laughing because everyone else is going to bump. Between that, the only last place will be the shelter tops.
Itself, yeah. I think Winstrike have just realized no one's there because no one shot them on their cross. So Winstrike, considering they had an awful route, they were behind, you know, Reciprocity in between them and Unity. They've managed to get away with
From
absolute
nothing
murder.
to everything.
Huge. First death finally comes in. It is VOD going down. D-Mash going to get the points in the pocket for that. And NIP need to consider options. All the teams in the south that had a little bit of respite now need to get back into the battle here. M19, Na'Vi, G2, NIP have to find a way around here.
13-22 into a game, and that's his first death. That's wild. Oh well. Raise your edge. They're happy. They don't even have to move. Same positions as before. They'll just move 2 up slightly. But they can hold the western side, the northwest. Liquid also holding the north. Stops Unity advancing forward. CrowCrowd spreading their wings across the mansion. I like that. Stop any snakes just sneaking through the woods. Senpai and Tab can quite literally keep a tab on that and stop anyone moving forward. There is a crate landing. AUG. Happy days. Should you be able to pick it up? And you never know. Navi might get lucky coming across that because the shelter is open. And it's really the last empty place towards the southern side of the circle. Vitality. Just looking at where they are. That's going to be at the mercy of the circle.
Constantine, did you think you had a shot again? This little bit of a compound maybe working off the back of it. The spray. It ain't bad. Constantine's in trouble. Very open field and a lot of eyes suddenly look towards him. He's been hindered. His progress not so great anymore. Those 5 nades in the pocket of Senya now look very good. The damage coming in, the nade could be good enough. No, not quite far enough. And support's there, putting Senya back in place.
The rest of M19 will commit to this. It's a dangerous game, but if you can smoke him up and get him towards you, you'll be laughing. Reposition coming out of Navi. Either that or it's just a disengage, get ahead of the game, get further afield. Next grenade does come through Senya. A little bit further this time. They are committing to this, which is dangerous and might cost them in the long game.
Yeah, and the rest of Na'Vi have moved up, which I like. They might sacrifice Senya for the greater good. You can't slow yourself down just to bail out one man when you've got the circle to worry about. Reciprocity taking a wide swing south of Lumberyard, all the way around and up, I think is going to be their plan. But this is what happens when you reposition. Na'Vi getting ahead of M19, going to punish Dmash for trying to support his teammate. Elite player is there. There could be a revive. I don't know if they're in nade range, really, as Senya now can leapfrog up. Wanderer's done the same thing, so almost mirrored movement.
We'll just keep on following them. G2 pulling up. Two members of FaZe Clan. They have to go for the fight. Mexi, though, gets answers back. So does Uber. G2, I've no idea how, have somehow won this battle. I suppose strength in numbers could be said, but FaZe should have been watching that. They have an open field. They had to run, and they've allowed G2 to take the compound from them. Yeah, scary clash of two heavy-hitting teams, FaZe and G2. They're individually incredibly powerful, but yes, it has been stolen. But look at that M19, NIP, Na'Vi, Reciprocity battle in the south. This is all going past the shelter, and none of it's in the safety anymore. Miraku's moved up, NBS is there. We're looking at the Wanderer going down. That's Pokemolodoy finding the angle from afar, but there's the delivery of those shots trying to claim that one. You can see everyone swarming on these kills. He does get the confirmation. That's points in the pocket, and here comes Winstrike. What on earth? Yeah, the Finns are going for it. They'll take this embankment side because there's nothing else to play with. And none of these teams, by the way, we're talking about are inside the circle. M19, Reciprocity, Na'Vi just on the edge. Nip and Winstrike, all of these teams have to run the gauntlet. This is going to be difficult for NIP. They could go below, go underground. That's exactly what they're doing. They're going to go for the different entrance that's inside the circle. Oh my god, look at the north, Rich. This is the northern side. This is ENCE now getting battered. Truthfully is going to try and breach and clear. He does get down Kemba. Mikas and Squeaky are left for... Oh, left for dead. That nade's not bad. It's actually banked in. Oh, he's done it. What? What a nade from Set. Threaded the needle with the nade, and now he can try and get his teammates back up because there's more pressure coming his way. And that's simply because he cooked it long enough. Pull the pin, hold the nade, get it through the bars, job done. Bye, ENCE. From hero to literally zero, 16th place. That's a little bit rough. Continuing with the roughness, unfortunately, Tizerin does get pulled up on by Ibiza and Samty working side by side. Blast on there as well. The cleanup crew taking out Heaven, taking out Unity. Doesn't matter. Bye-bye, boys. All right. Liquid, fair play, lads. They'll set themselves one, but again, they're still not in the circle. They have to continue the assault. What a cleanup from them. NBS playing on the back of that tree did really well. Temmie's still alive, though, so there is room to be punished, and a lot of points to be picked up. Look at all those knocks. Winstrike do go down. And NIP, that lower ground, they went through the shelter. As you highlighted, it's paid so well for them. They can now try and, stabilize a second. They can work off that side of things. Na'Vi have moved further east. M19 have done the same, and as have Reciprocity. They're on the west side of the prison now. There's the revives coming in. They're safe. They're okay. No one's going to try and pressure them anytime soon. The next big battle is going to be towards the north, in my eyes. This is a bit of a scuffle. Reciprocity should be able to find some safety, but Liquid, Raise Your Edge, and CrowCrowd all looking for a way forward in the north. Don't let all these kills take your attention away from the fact that every single one of these fights so far has actually not been inside the circle. This has been outside of it, trying to make their way and their approach inside. There is not much land. There's a lot of edge fighting, battles going down. Sigsy spotting out Liquid. They have to move, but there's nowhere else really to go. They'll have the lower ground to play with. Yes, that's fine, a couple of trees, but they're going to be in a rough position. That's a long shot. 1, 2, 3, 400 meter shot coming out of Gustav, which caused a problem. Because Sigsy's the furthest one away. Should Liquid make an advancement on this, they will take full advantage. Oh, they are. Look at them. Any sign of weakness, they're going to run it. Kemba's got Chris as well. Off of the map as well. Menox trying to keep them under pressure, keep them away from their side. But Samty and Ibby are the ones close by. The Molotovs rain in. Chris is bleeding out. I don't know if that revive's going to come in at all. It's not. And I think Team Liquid have realized that Raise Your Edge are dead in the water, and they've got bigger issues in front of them right now, which is CrowCrowd. Off the back of one. Molly. Singsy just burnt alive. Nice and crispy. Smoke's down. Maybe we get some smoke shots here from Senpai and Corp. try and find the second point and pick it up.
Oh, Vitality, M19 are about to fall towards Haxedi as well. They are very close by. This is Na'Vi in the south. It's slightly further along the hillside, so that's going to be the next battle coming through. Haxedi did get a bit of an engagement there. This is Senya by a rock. He's fine for now. Sure, NIP will have to move soon. Gaxi takes a bit of flak. A couple of tags coming in. I don't know how Haxedi's still alive next to M19. That's engagement's happening now. There goes Constant. Trade comes back in. Dmash gonna deliver the bullets. That should be the step in the right direction. The rest of Reciprocity are up by the Harry Potter Tower. They're a little bit further in. Team Liquid are just sending it as best they can. Get into some sort of ditch, build a bit of a wall with those smokes, those cars, and that's not the time to do it.
K98 instas him. The second he falls, he just bites the bullet, and that follows up by Samti. Oh my word. All right, Raise Your Edge have gone down, but Fast Rail has done so much damage to them. Almost confirming Samti off the back of it as well.
DA have just arrived towards Vitality. They've gone into prison. Nades being traded out between Na'Vi and NIP. A Doozy going to be suffering. I think that one's... it's going to cause him to bleed out pretty darn fast. And Sixmo's found the dangerous end of that low ball from Jazza. It's FaZe Clan being eliminated. They were the last two in the northeast. The Knights kept them at bay, not able to make it to the new circle. That southeast side is a bloodbath. It's a massacre, and Besaloch looks deadly.
Pausing for a second. He's the first one that can hold this back because he's inside the circle. Well, actually, no, he's not. It's Besaloch, that is. Not too far to go, but TSM will have an eye line on this. They'll have to smoke up. And while also going on, NIP are using the tree line to get ahead of the game. Gaxi's extending, maybe. He sees him, he does. Time to strike. There's damage from afar. Hits the deck for now.
Oh, that plateau just couldn't quite keep him safe. He was so desperate for it to try and give him some cover, but now the Spurs on NIP, but they fall into the line of fire.
TSM?
It's TSM racking up the points. Besaloch has to move up now. He has to try and get further forward. This smoke can keep him safe for only so long. He has to remove that last standing man for NIP. Miraku needs to get out of the way for him, and he knows that. And Miraku's about to get found. It looks like those tags are coming in from afar. That's Constantine finding him. Besaloch now needs to weigh up his options, and there doesn't look like many good ones left.
You hear the pan dink in the back, but it is the blue that could be doing the damage next. TSM will keep on raining bullets through. He's got level 3 gear, which
Drayden, look at him. Peekaboo in the smoke, says hello to CrowCrowd and waves him goodbye. Good play from the Knights there. And I've got to say, this new circle has so little cover in it. So little cover, very limited terrain, very small areas to keep you safe. If you have vehicles, now's the time to try and build yourself a bit of a wall. There's so little to be played with here.
So you kind of looking towards TSM for this one. No one's really near them.
I just feel everyone's going to look at them, though.
Yeah. And as we say that, Michael goes down. Rather unfortunate. Samti from afar. That's all the way up in the north. But while the last two players of Liquid are shooting towards TSM, I can see the Knights who are itching to get involved here. They just keep looking towards them.
Look at this compound breach coming in from Vitality. They know the DA are nearby, but I don't know how close they realize they are to them. Mert and Sixmo still in that hangar furthest away. Vitality will be able to hold their exit, so DA could just die to the blue here. Smoking off one side. Jazza gonna get towards Dmash, so a little bit of another fight going on here on that hillside between Reciprocity trying to get those points, and they do. Shiv chimes in with his own.
G2 go down in the backlines. Wanted finds him. That's another player moving forward. Nasus onto Mert. Instant confirmation there. And they'll just evacuate the building because Sixmo's the last man standing and he has to go towards them. There's no reason to commit any single player to that because he's just going to, if he knocks him, he'll get the instant flush. Take the point, job done. Scoom, finish off Na'Vi. That keeps them a little bit more safe and keeps their backside clear. It all comes down to elite player. He might give it up to the blue. They still know he's there. I'm seeing bullets going his way, so they still have the information. The next problem for Rec is once they come out of this tower, it depends which choice Vitality make. Do they go upwards towards the tree line, use the rocks, get the line of sight? Or will they come down from the mountains? TSM still taking bullets in the back. Sixmo will probably just give this one up for the simple fact there's no point in giving away more points for them. Same goes for elite player. We are moving into the final week, so for some of these guys, it's, you know what, if I can't do a last stand, I might as well just heal this one out and deny points to any other players. They've been a nuisance. Kramer looking forward to Vitality, which is good because they need to look, rather than so focused on this one player, look at what's next. And I'll tell you what might be next to Vitality. Reciprocity. The old arguments from week number 1. Shiv and Skoom are here. They're on the rock side waiting for them.
Yeah, they've set up really nicely for this, but they are outnumbered. Vitality at least have the numbers there. So this could work out for them. Elite player bleeding to the blue. It's going to hurt here. There's not much more to be said. He tries to take down Skoom with him. It looks like Skoom just got a tag. That's a bit of a tricky situation. Both of those players do go down. DA and M19. I think Elite player died just after him, so M19 get a little further ahead. But Skoom getting tagged is a little bit of a big loss there. That could have been such a big pickup, but it is a sweep from Vitality in the south, and let's look at who's left alive. The Knights have 4, Vitality have 4, Gemty still stands, and TSM with 3.
And it is Liquid who have removed one of the scalps from TSM.
Oh, Gemty.
It's Foster and a gauntlet. Mid-air collision. Rory seals the deal on Liquid's 4th place. You can see from polar opposites mirror imaged here. Circle, kind to all of these teams. No hard shift. Hop, skip, and a jump away. 4 up for the Knights, 4 up for Vitality. TSM down 1 because of the Liquid engagement earlier on. No one's using grenades here. It's open ground, it's field there. You need your marksmen to step up, your SLRs to be kicking it. You need the scopes, you need the range.
That ain't bad. Shots on towards the Knights from here. Oh, excuse me, for the Knights towards TSM from here is not bad at all. Seems aware that Vitality could be close. Nasus does get spotted, so vision being gained. Still a couple of smokes with the Knights as well. TSM going to get Rory back on his feet. Going to get a heal off, and they should be ready to go.
Actually,
or not.
I don't know how, in God's name, he's managed to hit him under the car. That's impressive. Maybe he got him straight back off and just tapped him. Surprised TSM didn't take out the tyres. They do at least back off for now. The fire will hide the res.
They should be safe for now, yeah. They should
the
be safe.
Next knock, though, he ain't going to get back up from that one. I'm intrigued to see what his chest is like.
Shadow's still got a vehicle to move up. That's good. That's some, you know, deployable cover at this point. So TSM are just going to prone the hell down. They ain't moving for love nor money.
It's in a single sniper rifle. It's just all DMRs.
Yeah.
The Mini is just such a versatile weapon. Easy to pick up, easy to grab a bit of range.
There's no cover here. It's literally nothing.
That's why they're all playing edge. I'm intrigued to see what Shadow does. If Shadow manages to get a knock onto any of the Knights, maybe this spurs on. Saying that it won't, actually, because they're so split. And there's only 3 of them. I didn't realize Narcissus was so forward compared to Kramer. If Vitality were together, they might make something happen. Oh, God, TSM's going to die on this one.
Yeah, TSM's out of luck. I didn't catch how much utility they had. Even if they have some, it's going to be until the smokes fade. Vitality can kind of run the same path as Shadow, just play off the foot of the hill. What, Gustav? What? Okay, here's the punish. That's flushed as well. It should be go time. If you're Vitality, I'd be considering trying to fold towards the Knights, if I'm honest.
3-3-3.
Oh, my word. This is a very close game now.
This is interesting. Keep your grenade net meta, boys. We don't need it. This is all about range now.
10 seconds and TSM are screwed. They need to find more kills. They have to do something. I want to get on board with TSM. They've got grenades. They could try and use the grenade explosions for cover, but to even be able to throw them is going to be almost impossible. One smoke's out. Rory's put that down. Maybe a little bit of a step forward, but there comes the blue. Here comes the pain. Here comes the hurt. Good tags from Wookie, but he can't do it in time. Gustav and Rory need to get moving now. It's time to go. Do the best you can with the situation you've been given. And whatever that means for them, it's time to find out. Tag comes in from Wanted. It's time to run. Any bit of cover would be good. They're trying to serpentine, trying to dodge the bullets, but the aim is so crisp. Wanted finding Rory comfortably, and it will be TSM gone. Sadly, the circle for them was rough as anything. And now Vitality need to kind of consider their options. While this has all happened, look at Kramer's positioning. Look how close to the center he's got himself. He's leapfrogged ahead. He's cut off the Knights at the knees. That could be a big loss for them. The car goes up. That option has been taken away.
That's a long oh, what? Okay, well, yeah, whatever works.
You said the nade meta was down. They disagree. We're still with 3 with Vitality. And the knock against the Knights is going to be a tricky one to get around. Wanted and Drayden better be ready. You've got the the old ARs out. Nasa's trying to find the next spot, and that's good. He's still got a smoke as well. They've got really nice repositioning for Vitality.
Oh, if he gets in between that tree, he might just be denied. He's going to have to keep moving, remember.
Yeah, here comes the blue. This is when the Knights are going to be feeling the pressure.
Shadow.
Wanted, Drayden, Znark, what can you do? Shadow wants to make this peak. I can't blame him for wanting to do it either. He can be the one to deliver the killing blow, but you've got to be patient, you've got to be smart. And with the blue now on your back, Drayden, you've got to move the hell up. Maybe one bandage and get your butt moving. Engagements begin. The shots come out. That's from, I think, Nasus maybe just spraying away. It is. And he catches. Drayden goes down. Time to move up. Nasus on the play. Wanted on the run. And Znark's your last man alive. Vitality needing wins, and this should be theirs. I don't see a world in which Znark can get away with this, and I think he knows it. Shadow pushing up. He wants to deliver it, and it's Shadow in the distance getting it done. What a bit of work from Vitality.
That grenade to open up that final ending was just immaculate. Fires a nuclear missile, finds its target, and then all of a sudden we see the overextension. One player pushing out to the rock side and that just adds so much pressure and basically does not allow them to heal. By Nasus holding that rock, there's nowhere to move, you can't heal, you can't get to a better position, you have to stay stationary, and then the blue does the job. It forces them into the open, Shadow's there, time to strike, nail in the coffin. Big win for Vitality.
Huge win for them. We said today we needed some of those teams in the more bottom positions that find, you know, the last spots to really step up. And we've seen that. M19, sure, they're a little further ahead than the bottom pack, but Vitality was certainly down there. ENCE was down there. And today we're seeing a bit of a result for both of them.
That nade.
That's got you, hasn't it?
I'm just surprised. I suppose when you think about it, there's only, you know, from cresting the ridgeline, where they're pocketed into, where they were sending shots across to TSM. You've been reading all this information. There's only one possibility of where they, well, two possibilities, two sets of trees. He's gone for the right one. It's opened it up. It's allowed Nasus to move to a better position, holds them down. The rest of the team just push forward. Good win. Good execution.
Yeah, it was. That was the thing. It's good to see that. It wasn't just kind of gifted to them. It wasn't just on the plate. Sure, the circle worked well, but I mean, there was a lot of shifts around that sort of game. And I'm happy to see some of the teams towards the bottom picking up wins, kills to boot as well. It means that this league, again, just gets closer and closer. So I think that's enough from us. We've seen a good couple of games today. I'm happy with that. And let's hear from the boys themselves.
11 kills. Team Vitality getting the final chicken dinner here today. I'm joined with the crew on the couch for the final couch interview. We got the Sims going back there. He's still going crazy about that grenade you had at the end. Oh, where's your mic? Talk about the